Hello everyone, welcome to Blue Dragon Actual. Now, as you are aware, like maybe most of you would be aware that I have cleared SA7 from UK and I qualified as a fellow. But that does not mean that my actual journey has ended there. Obviously, I have to clear SA2, and because I cannot take a shortcut. Once you take a shortcut in life, then that would be the norm, and you would be inclined to take many more shortcuts, which will kind of kill your uh, no ingenuousness, right? So what I was kind of trying to see or observing is how who are the candidates who are kind of passing from India, because India has very low passing rate in SA2, right? So this is the, and I was analyzing this for a lot of time, like maybe for last 2 years, and it would be very big data to show the data for last 2 years, right? So instead of showing the data for last 2 years, we'll just take two items and I'll try to establish a trend that I have seen, and try to understand what could be the reason for that, right? So that many people would probably be benefited, right? Now, my actual paper journey, right? Actual learning would always be in my life. That is a never-ending process, but my actual paper journey would not end till I clear SA2 from either of those societies, right? Now, I would not be very steadfast on saying that I will have to clear it from SA2 from India, which at a point of time I was, because I still believe that SA2 from India is 3-4 level notches higher than SA2 from IFA. Only that paper. I don't like whenever I say that, many people misinterpret me saying that probably IAI exams are tougher than IFA. I don't mean that. Not all the exams are tougher. There are only two exams I believe that are tougher in IAI as compared to IFA. First is CB on the accountancy paper, right, and next is the SA2. So these are the two papers which are much more tougher, in my experience, right? Now people can have different opinion, but this is my experience, I believe, and I never want to mean that IFO exams are lighter or easier, right? But these two papers are specifically tougher. Now, if you see the pass, result pass, but this is the pass percentage, or the people who have passed in December 22, and this is the sorry, I think I have two papers same, and this is the kind of the candidates who have passed in May 23. This time I have not appeared for paper from India, right? I just appeared for SS7 from UK. If you see this, there are three people that have passed this time. Last time there was 84 candidates, five people have passed. So this passing percentage is very less. You can see less than, it's always in one digit. For the last, I did analysis. You can see my browse through my videos in my channel, and there will be an analysis where I've shown for SA2 and SA3, the passing percentage is very less. In fact, for SA2, it has never crossed 10%, right? It's always lower than 10%. So always in single digit, right? Now, today I'd like to understand who are the people who are passing the actual exam from SA2, and if there is a similarity in this people, right? So that we also have an understanding, because something is going on there, something is wrong, and something is fishy about that. To be very honest, because otherwise I probably would not have taken this many attempts to clear SA2. Now, let us first start with the March one, and then we'll go to the December one. In the March one, we'll try to establish the kind of trend, and then we'll see if those trend is kind of followed up in the December one, right? So the first person to pass is Sachi Patel, right? And first of all, congratulations to them. They have passed a very difficult exam, right? And it's not easy to do that. Ask me, right? Because I am stuck in this paper for more than 2 years now, and I mean, yeah, it's a tough paper to pass, and if someone has passed it in first attempt or second attempt, hats off to them, and they have done a tremendous job, right? But at the same time, you also need to see if we can gain from their experience, because in my experience, whenever some candidate have passed and I approach them saying that, hey, can you get that paper from the Institute of Actuaries of India, and because it is available at 1,000 rupees only, and can I share that paper in the in the YouTube, so that, or you willing to kind of discuss this. So in my past experience, I have not spoken to these people. 99.99% people have refused to do so, saying that no, no, we are not comfortable, right? I don't understand the reason why, because I would be doing that the moment, the day if I clear SA2 from India, I'd be doing that, right? Unfortunately, for SA7 paper, I wrote that paper from my official laptop, and that paper got lost because I am not working now, right? So I forgot to kind of take that paper, and because I have to surrender the laptop when I resigned from my job, that paper got lost. Otherwise, I would have posted that video how I have appeared for the paper and how I've got marks, etc. But right now, it doesn't make sense. But anyways, when I have approached any people especially from India, they have refused. Only one person agreed, but he was not comfortable to kind of share the paper over YouTube, right? And not to share his name. But still, I think he is one of the very rare person one found who was willing to share the paper. And hats off to that person. I took the paper from him with the commitment that I would not share it further with anyone, and it will only stay with me, right? So that I can understand. Anyways, but that did not help me much. Otherwise, I would have cleared the paper. So let us understand what is the trend here, so that it will help, right? And obviously, this video would be in two parts. I mean, this week video would be two parts. One is this part, this where we are kind of discussing the SA2, and the second part would be I see a rapid degradation in the quality of actual students whenever I'm interacting with them, and also try to figure out the reason and how they can probably improve, because not everyone is many people are looking to improve, right? But they probably don't know the way to do that. So the first part is so let's see what Sachi is doing, right? So Sachi is an associate manager in Bharti AXA. In terms of designation, that is not that high. That is kind of at the between the lower management and the middle management, right? And you can see she has approximately around 5 6 years of 7 years of experience, right? So and she is working in, it's not, nothing is mentioned about her profile, right? So I can't gauge what she is probably doing. It's just that she has mentioned recently she has posted, but I can't see anything else, right? And she's also an MBA, Bachelor of Commerce. So that's what I can understand, right? But other than that, what profile of life insurance she is working on is not possible for me to understand. Next person is Ashim Kumta. So if I come here, he is general manager in PNB MetLife. I believe that's a senior position, right? In MetLife, in PNB MetLife, right? And yeah, 6 years, 1 month, you can see that. So he has approximately 8, 10, 13, 14 years of work age, right? And I think he has more work age than that. So he has worked his way up, and right now he is general manager in PNB MetLife. So one common thing that we are seeing right now, till now, that every person is kind of from the Indian industry. They are not from the the KPO setup, and either they are working in, and they are also working in Mumbai area. So because most of the Indian companies are kind of set up in Mumbai area. So another person Mumbai area. So this is one trend that we can see. Second trend that we can see is Umit Shah, who is AVP in ICICI Prudential. In ICICI, the hierarchy is a bit lopsided. It start from manager one, then manager two, then senior manager one, senior manager two. In this way, so the hierarchy is kind of different. Although I believe associate vice president would be kind of quite it would be on the middle management level, right? And he is in actual pricing. So here I can see the profile that he is working on, but he has also worked on statutory valuation and business planning. This is something that I have also worked on extensively, so I understand this is a valuation role, right? And he is in pricing domain. Right now, he is pricing domain, and he has a stellar career. He has made All India 23 rank in CA final, etc. So he is a CA as well. So that is something that we can see. Now, these are the three candidates that have passed. That have passed out of the 96 candidates. Once again, you can see how difficult it is to pass the SA2 paper, especially, and uh, and we can see one trend. Every person is working from the Indian sector, right? Indian core sector. The other thing that we can see very clearly is they are from Mumbai, because most of this, companies are located in Mumbai. Now, to avoid any confusion, I will remove this, this three and also this page. Next would be this one, which is the December 22, right? And once again, the first is Rupa Bhatt. Rupa Bhatt is heading the valuation and regulatory reporting in India First Life Insurance. Once again, the Mumbai connection, right? And also Indian company, right? So that is there, and obviously she is in valuation. She's heading the valuation reporting, right? And I think she has moved from mostly she has stayed in Indian companies, right? So that is one thing. So let me also remove that. Then Tanuj is head of pricing. Once again, I think Tanuj has a lot of experience here. Yeah, couple of around 10, 11 years of experience, right? And he's the head of pricing in Aegis Federal. So I think mostly what we are seeing the valuation and pricing, right? And I have not seen a person in modeling till now, right? But valuation and pricing, maybe people are not writing it in their profile, but valuation and pricing is some trend that is emerging. Once again, he's working in Indian life insurance companies for a long time, right? Moving on, next is Mr. Vikas Gupta. Once again, congratulations to him. And he is also a postgraduate in IIM from IIM Bangalore. He has more than 19 years of work ex, right? And he BNB PAD. So these are obviously shareholder reporting and valuation, right? And he's executive vice president. So he has a lot of work ex, 19 years, 4 months, right? So obviously he got stuck. Maybe he also got stuck in this paper, I believe. And finally, 2011 to 22. So it took 11 years, but he has also grown in his career. Once again, it's a quite senior person, right? And he's also from India, right? Indian industry. Moving on, Mr. Shah. So Mr. Shah is Bharti AXA. So I think senior actual trainee, senior. This I cannot say very senior. Although he here I don't know about the hierarchy in RGA. I believe that she got promoted here, and she got a good profile, good jump from Bharti AXA to RGA, and good for her, obviously. But I can't like till Bharti AXA, I don't see this to be very senior position. This might be senior because the senior manager valuation. I don't know about this. I just remember a couple of discussions with RGA HR where kind of I was mentioned that I don't remember the rule, but long back, right? And I was always over budget for them, uh, fortunately or unfortunately. So I don't know if the hierarchy is high or not, but once again, it is not clear where she has worked upon. She has also mentioned that the highest mark in SA2, she has scored the highest mark, 7 years of work ex in statutory valuation reporting experience analysis. Once again, although RJ is not a company which is in Indian side, but she has worked for 5 years in Bharti AXA, right? And that is an Indian company. Finally, Monil Vakil, who is here, he has mentioned associate and CA, and he is also working in Bharti AXA. A lot of time Bharti AXA got repeated, I believe, right? And I think couple of times, I think out of all those, 8, 9 candidates, I think 4 were from Bharti AXA. And so one thing we can say, and once again, he's not that senior, right? He has just started his career. It's a great achievement for him to kind of finish everything so quickly, right? And he has also posted about his marks and everything, right? So what are the conclusions that we can draw from this? The first conclusion that we can draw is in the last couple of attempts, and for every attempt, every person has worked in the Indian insurance sector for at least 5 years, right? Otherwise, so that can mean that if you have not worked in the Indian insurance sector for some time, right, you probably don't stand a chance to clear the SA2 paper, right? That is the first conclusion, because all of this people, someone has worked for 19 years, someone has worked for 5 years, someone has worked for maybe slightly less, right? But I think the least would be probably three years. Whatever I've seen here, right? From 3 to 19 years, that is the variation of the experience, and all of those people are located in Mumbai, and all of those people are kind of you know uh, working in Indian insurance sector, right? That there was not a single person who has not worked in Indian insurance sector and passed it, right? And if you extrapolate this trend to the previous diet and previous attempt as well, you see this trend emerging, right? And I think very few people would probably who is not part of India would have cleared from India. So that is one thing or one trend that is emerging, that you have to clear from India now. Obviously, maybe that gives you an edge, right? That if you have worked in the Indian sector for a long time, That probably gives you an edge in SA2. That is quite evident here, right? Second thing is maybe if you are writing the paper from Mumbai, because we don't know who is taking which paper, right? Obviously, maybe since there are 84 papers, maybe all the papers will go to the same examiner, right? We don't know about that, right? But if there are multiple examiner, different location, then obviously writing from Mumbai might be making more sense, right? So that is one chance, that is one luck factor, because SA2 with 5.95% or 3% passing rate, there is a bit of luck involved, right? You have to kind of accept that, right? You don't know what question will come, and most of these people probably who have passed also would probably agree with me that they don't know if they are said to kind of write the next paper, they would pass it or not. It's just that's why there is a luck, right? Because the passing rate is very less. There might be many people out of those 96 people that only three passed. Out of those 93 people might be much more knowledgeable than these three people. There is a chance, right? But those people has not passed, right? Because maybe the question, for that question, the answer they had written is not, maybe not up to the mark for the exam, right? So two conclusions that we can draw very clearly: that is Indian company, that is a must for clearing SA2, right? Otherwise your chance is very very restricted. Second is Mumbai location, right? So if you are in Mumbai, nothing like it, write the paper from Mumbai. Otherwise, I think you should travel to Mumbai and write the paper, because that luck factor can help you. Secondly, if you are in the then can switch to an Indian company and stay there for 5 6 years, that can help you in clearing the paper from SAP. However, I don't believe this is a good trend. This slightly means that you are kind of selecting people from a particular sector, right? Or your means or mode of checking or the question paper is set in that manner that people working in this sector would be favored, which should not be the case. The paper should be an universal paper so that any person who has knowledge should clear the paper. It should not be that only people from particular section would be are finding it easy to clear the paper. That is why we have a principle in SA2 and all of Actuary, that is treating customer fairly, right? Here you are kind of not treating everyone fairly. If that is happening, because you can see the trend, it does not mean that people who are not working in the Indian sector are bad, right? It does not mean that. So but here kind of that is what the result is. And also the point is why only 6% people is passing, while in other papers or maybe also from UK much more percentage of people are passing, right? That is also a questionable thing, right? And I think the institute should come out with clear clarification, because they do not have the material, right? Their material is based on UK, and although the material is kind of based on UK, and they ask question from regulations and lot of other details, right? So they should create a material, then that would not be a level, then that would not be an unfavorable field for particular section. Create a material so that everyone would be in the level field. If they study that material well, right, they can pass the paper, because otherwise it's an unfair advantage to a section of people, and that needs to be called out. So once again, I'd like to clearly say that instead of uh, doing this, instead of clicking pictures with the honorable finance minister, because somehow everyone does that, every president of IAI. Instead of doing that, if you can work towards making a SA2 paper, which will help people, right? If you can create that, which will help people, then it would be a level playing field, and everyone would appreciate that, right? Once again, you can see a picture like that. I don't see the meaning of this picture, right? Because the actual Institute of Actuaries of India was set up to promote actual education. So why a picture like that? Why not a picture with multiple actual students, kind of sitting in a seminar? That should be the picture of Institute of Actuaries of India, right? Or maybe some explaining some process, maybe how to create the standard table, because Institute of Actuaries of India is responsible for standard table. That should be the picture, right? Uh, like in my website, I can tell the main theme is like this is one place where for actually trading, coding, artificial intelligence. So because we are working in that domain, right? So that the first page should always give you that impression. This is what this person are working on, right? but I don't understand the picture where the finance minister is sitting with the president. Because that does not mean anything to me, right? So yeah, so I think I hope this help you and you understand the trend, right? Now, maybe I'll also try to go through the question paper once, because this time I've not appeared for the SA2 paper. I'm trying to understand what is written, what is required, and what would be my attempt, right? But that would come at a later stage, and doing something like that is not easy, right? I'll be appearing for the SA2 paper from UK this time, and have to see what is going on there, how I can plan there. One thing easier in UK is that you do not have to remember the regulation, but because I've attempted so many times, the good thing about failing so many times is I almost remember every regulation by heart, point wise, right? So I just need to kind of revisit those regulation for 2 3 days, and everything would be crystal clear to me. I mean, I'll always already remember all the points. So that is the good thing about failing the exam so many times, because and when you are thorough in one regulation, that will also help you in many other regulation when you kind of come across those in the life insurance sector. So that is one thing. And how can you probably build your knowledge in from the Indian side, right? Or what are the answers they are writing, and how those answers kind of related to the Indian side, which is not covered in the material. That you have to kind of figure out, right, in order to pass the exam, because otherwise you are clearly not going to pass the exam. And one more thing I'd like to kind of say or mention, like there are many people who, you know, messaged me saying that there are some, there are some differential checking and people see the name of the people and they pass. I don't think that is the case. And people has this conspiracy theory that only few people get passed who are of some contact, etc., etc. I don't believe in this, and please don't message me like that in LinkedIn. It's just, I don't think that is like, we can't put the blame of not passing an exam to someone else. It is with us. Even if one person passed the exam, that person should be you. So we can't, you can't say that because the institute is kind of selecting against you to pass. Obviously, in some way, they are favoring the Indian companies student or working professionals in some way, which it's very very clear in the data. But it's not that they're not checking your paper, right? We have to kind of mold our answer in that domain. And I personally have worked in the Indian sector, so but not for this many years. So that's where I think there is a gap, and that gap exists from the institute as well, because their material is insufficient, right? And also we have to kind of, if they are not going to provide the material, we have to kind of bridge the gap, right? And maybe if any of the past candidates who have passed this, if any of them is willing to come forward and share what they have done differently, or like what extra they have written, or if they are willing to maybe share their paper uh, with me, I can uh, go through their paper and I can share the insights and how it compare with the suggested solution. If they are willing to do that, then I can, because I will be doing that if I pass the paper from India, right? So I'll be doing that. So I hope that if someone is willing to come forward and help, then it's a great thing, because if we help each other, then the community grows. So yeah, without making this video any longer, let's close this video here, and I hope it has benefited everyone. So thanks for watching this video, and see you in the part 2 of this video as well.